Oh, snapped. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we are just moving on with the build. I'll show you the seats. We got those all finished up. I did have to do a little bit of modifying to one of the frames because unfortunately, as I found out with a bit more digging and research on the internet, I found out that 3 of the seats I had were actually 58, so they weren't 56 to 57, which are slightly different. Now the bases are exactly the same. Where the differences are is the backs, and basically I've stripped a couple of other ones that I've got here. But just so that you guys learn something too, because, you know, we're all learning, aren't we? The differences are, the 58 back has a curve. You can see that little curve there. Whereas if you look at the 56, the 56 is a little bit straighter in the bar here. Another difference is this section here is just pretty much rounded straight through. And then the end of it here has got kind of like a bit of a point where if you look at the 58, the 58 has got, I'll show you this one-handed, it's got a little crease here, and then also the end's totally different. It's a bit more squared off. And then the other difference is the bar at the back here is actually mounted a little bit lower down than these bars on these ones. Right, so what I ended up doing is that seat there, I modified it and made it, I bent this straight and I put this in where it needs to go. So now at least both of the seats look identical. So a little bit of work. I didn't really want to bore you with the fabrication bits and pieces, but at least now when you look at them from here, they look exactly the same. So everything is all honky-dory, good to go. So one of the next things we're going to do is just strip down the back. This is the back section. I'm still trying to find the bottom section of the back seat because I don't have that yet, so I'm trying to source one of those. I did find out that 56 onwards up to 64 is the same, so I can just pretty much get any base, but that's the backrest. So we're going to strip that now and see if that will actually fit in the sandblaster cabinet, and then I can give that a blast and clean it up and get it prepared for the upholsterers. Now I do have some boxes. I've got some goodies here which I will open later and show you guys what we've got coming for the 56 here. So I did get another guard, that one that was roached. So we have another guard to replace that crappy one. And yeah, we're not going to be far off doing the body. I think now that the pan's getting close to being completed, I'm not going to paint any of that yet. I've just put it in the phosphoric acid for now, because we're going to be, moving it in and out underneath and mounting it and taking. I don't want to go scratching up bits and pieces, so that's what we're going to do. So, all right, let's start cleaning up this backrest. All right, let's go and see if it fits in the sandblasting cabinet, which I don't think so. Be tight. It just doesn't fit. Bummer. Actually, if I bend that clamp in, it might. That for you. Got to be happy with that. It actually fits in there. Mind you, I won't be able to get to all of it, but that's all right. We can just move some stuff around. Oh, that's awesome. All right, let's blast away. Okay, so after the sandblasting cabinet, I've just put a bit of phosphoric acid on it, let it do its thing, and I can stay there for now until we get it painted. But yeah, one more part ticked off. And I think one of the next things we're going to have to do is get this chassis back on its wheels so that we can put the body on top of it and start working on the heater channels and all the rust repairs. I think realistically that's probably what's going to be next. So I'm thinking now, you know, I'm not going to worry about that gearbox because I've got another gearbox that's going in it, not a split case box but a combi box, which is actually in the ute. That one's gonna go into this, and I've got a new one coming for the ute. So we might actually work on the beam next. I might strip the beam, sandblast that and paint it and go through it and get that ready to rock and roll, and then that can just basically get mounted straight to here, and then we can just chuck that gearbox on the back just to get it on its wheels and go from there. So yeah, I think that's going to be the next thing. Beam time. Oh, snapped. No. Or did it? Hang on. Yeah, she snapped. Well, that's not fun. See, shit's not scripted around here. So we've got a broken bolt. That's just... I shouldn't have pushed it. Oh, I shouldn't have pushed it. Should have given it a bit more heat. Now, we're in a world of hurt, aren't we? We're going to get you out now. Have to drill her out. Oh my God. Broken? No, that's just grease. Oh God, this is bad. Holy shit. You would think I would go and put gloves on, wouldn't you? But no, I'm an idiot and I have to put grease all over my hands. Ugh. That was traumatic. I don't like dealing with grease. Now comes the fun part. We've got to get a rod, tape a rag to it and shove it inside back and forth and get every skerrick of grease out of that beam, because we're going to sandblast this, and obviously we're going to be getting grit and sand and crap inside it, and I don't want to get contaminations in that thing. So yeah, okay, let's continue.
A few moments later.
Okay guys, so the beam is sandblasted. Let's pop it out. It was hideous to clean it, but anyway, let's have a look. See the damage. Oh, that looks a lot better, doesn't it? Look at that. Nice and clean. Alright, we'll go and chuck it outside and get it sprayed. There we go, let's have a look-see. Yeah, pretty good. We will put some of the Rain-X on it, and then we're going to take out our grease nipples, plug them up, and then we're going to spray this thing in KBS, in the polyurethane paint, and call it done. Actually, before I do that, I've got to drill out one of the snap bolts. Was it this one? No, the other one. Yeah, this one here is busted. Inside, that's going to be a fun job, but probably not too bad. All right, let's get that done. All right, guys, more gross part washing. There's some worn out. You can see here, it's worn out pretty badly on either side, so we'll probably flip them the other way, and then they can wear on the good side. Let's go and sandblast. We'll cover all these parts up obviously with some tape and sandblast the arms and call it good. Alright, so there's the trailing arms fresh out of the sandblaster. Yeah, look at that, you can even see the little logos. Pretty cool. And I've just put the phosphoric acid on those, so we'll let them dry off. And I think the plan is we'll just get that back together. I'll put the spring packs back inside it and bolt it all together. And yeah, we've got to get this pan off the hoist. So she's hot today, I tell you. She's there you go, look at that, outside 30 degrees in here, so she's gone from being freezing cold to bloody hot. Anyway, let's continue. Okay guys, so it's the next day, and of course we went from 35 degrees Celsius to 16. What the heck? One day we're boiling hot and the next we're bloody freezing again. This weather's whack, man, I tell you. Today we're just continuing all these bits and pieces. I did pull apart the steering box and it looks pretty good. Like that's the guts of it. I gave that a sandblast and a clean on the inside. Same with all the other components here. Yeah, look, everything looks pretty good. I've got the bearings just soaking in some auto thinners, and they actually don't look too bad at all. I can get one of them out. Yeah, they actually look pretty good. Not easy to find new ones. I did find one company that's got them in America, but they're like bloody $330 for the two. So if I can reuse those, I will. I'm just waiting for some new seals, one for here and also one for in there. They're on the way, so we can get it assembled, and then we'll just do a bit of a trial and see if it has got slop in it or not. I mean, the worm drive looks fantastic, and you know, the little couple that goes on top of it, same deal. They don't seem to be too bad, but we won't know until we obviously assemble it and put it back together. So that's on hold for the minute. What we'll do now is just continue with that front end. We've still got all the not the spindles, because I have brand new spindles, but we've got to clean up these parts here and you know, get all the shims. I've got new link pin and king pins coming. The boxes keep piling up, so we've got more brand new parts over here. I might just do an unboxing of all of it in one go just to show you guys. But yeah, there's a ton of stuff coming. Obviously, I only really got a shell, so there's a lot of parts that I don't even know what I need until I get to that point. Steering column, I've got that here, but there's bits missing on that, so I'm really not going to know until I start to assemble all this. Yeah, let's go. Let's keep cleaning. Guys, so we're on to disassembly of the spindles, and obviously we've got to remove the link pin and kingpin bushes. We're just going to knock these out first, and then we can drive the other ones out using some various tools. I'm just going to go with a socket. I know that's about the right radius there. Smack it with a hammer and call it good. Wear a glove so you don't hurt yourself, and yeah, let's give this a go. Bingo. All right, spin it around, do the other one. Pop it in the vise this way. Remove some of this gunk. Make sure it's tight. And I'm just going to use socket extension. And this does take a little bit more of walloping. Now we'll just pop it in like so, and we're just going to knock out the, and make sure we don't lose our little washer, which, this one's got the little pin too. So you can see there, little locating pin, that little thrush washer, which that one actually lives like that. Pop him over there. Cool. Well, these aren't getting used again, and this is the part we want. We've got obviously new bushes coming for those. Let's clean these up, sandblast them, and get them in phosphoric, and we start assembling. I do have a new set of these spindles, 2-inch lowered, so we are going to go slightly lower than stock on this vehicle, which probably will disgust some people, but that's the way we're rolling. Yeah, you can always change it back anyway. Now, let's move these. Okay, so here they are out of the sandblaster. We need to now push out these old brass bushes. We've got a new set. We will have to ream those, so I will have to go and get the reamer from Oven Boy's place, because I think he's got it up there. Yeah, they look a lot better than how they did before, eh? Awesome. Okay, we might just put a little bit of Rain-X on those as well. Stop them flash rusting. Let's do it. Okay, so we've got some reaming pin ready to use, and we've got our new parts. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, we've got some nice stuff. All right, so first off, we're going to put these in the vise, and we need to whack in the brass ones, these ones here. Get all the pins and so forth out of here, and these obviously need to be reamed. So we'll set them up here in the vise, and now I'm just wondering whether we will we'll probably just use the socket technique, tap these in. Let me get my bits and pieces. We take one, we pop it in through the top and make sure it locates in where we want it, and then we're going to take a socket with a socket, I don't know, what's this, 9mm. Pop that in top and then start walloping. Once it gets done, I'll swap over to this one, which is a little bit better. You really don't want to hit your hand with a hammer because it hurts a lot. We just want to make sure it comes out the other side flush, which it has. So that's what you're looking for. And then obviously now you've got, actually we've got to go a little bit further. We want that flush with the top, and then we get a file and we just take that little file, that groove out of the brass, and that's going to be for our little washer. So let's bang her in just a little bit more, not quite enough. Pop him back in the vise. That's perfect. Done. Okay. Next is the reamer. All we want to do is just make sure that we've got it off to the side of the vise, because we are going to be running through and we don't want to smack into the bottom of the vise with it. Now this is a kingpin Remo. I got this from a gentleman in America, and he was kind enough to send it over to us, which we couldn't find this in Australia anywhere, so I just put a vice grips on the top, pop him in the top, and there's a bit of a locating thing, and start grinding away, or cutting I should say. The first one will just cut straight through. It does take a little bit of down pressure, and it will definitely work your arms, especially after a 3-hour surf today. I'm not in a mood for this one, but anyway, that's what you've got to do. All right, you can see it actually shaving out the brass. And you can see how this is working. It'll basically just start shaving away. I sound like a tennis player. You can see here, it's gone through the first one. Now we've just got to take it through. That's the cutter, and that's obviously the starter. So we'll keep going. And now we've got our beautifully reamed brass bushes, and you'll see once we get our pin, it will actually sit in there. Perfect, look at that. Special as. All right, that part's done. And I reckon that's enough for me, because I'm buggered and I've got to go. I think I've been called, it's dinner time, so I'll catch you in the next episode. We're going to get this front beam together and move on from there. All right, catch you in the next episode, guys. You.